Investigators have released new information about the suspect. They say 20-year-old Usman Khan was previously... Investigators have released new information about the suspect. They say 20-year-old Usman Khan was previously convicted. 20-year-old Usman Khan was previously convicted on terror charges. He was released from...
Police and forensic teams are searching the property of 28-year-old Usman Khan. He was released from prison for terrorism offences. Police and forensic teams are searching the property of 28-year-old Usman Khan. He was released from prison for terrorism.
The suspect. They say 20-year-old Usman Khan was previously convicted on terror charges. He was released from prison last year after serving less than half his sentence and was wearing an ankle monitor at the time of the attack. Phil Black is with us from London right now. There are a lot of questions, I know, Phil, about this, about Khan, about why he was released from prison. What are you hearing from there?
Christy Mutton, good morning. Yes, Usman Khan was first arrested back in 2010 when he was 19 years old. That was part of an investigation into a significant terror plot to blow up the London Stock Exchange. And yes, he has to wear an electronic tag. So logically, authorities knew he was going to be in this area of London yesterday, attending a criminal justice seminar organised by Cambridge University. That's where the attack started. That's where it turns out he killed and injured people with a knife before fleeing onto the street. Some people chased him and they improvised, as you've touched on there. One person grabbed a fire extinguisher, I should say, and used that to slow him down. Another person grabbed a narwhal tusk from a wall. That's a long tusk from a small Arctic whale. Used that to slow him down. Other people ran in, crossing lanes of traffic from all sorts of directions. As it's being noted here today, very brave people chose to intervene to slow him down and eventually pin him down to the ground. He was pinned down. Well, you can see that spot just over my right shoulder at the left of your screen, that blue and yellow tent. That's where he was being held down by members of the public. When the police finally arrived, they saw that he was wearing something that could have been a suicide vest. Turned out to be a fake. However, they did not know that at the time. They had little choice, it seems, but to shoot him dead at that moment. And that's what a lot of that very disturbing video that's been captured actually shows. It is difficult to imagine how terrifying it must have been to actually witness all of that unfold. But this was a busy Friday afternoon in central London. A lot of people saw it happen.
Well, this close-knit university community is in shock from the events of Friday. Yesterday we learnt that Cambridge graduate Jack Merritt, 25, he had been killed in London Bridge. And then today we learnt that the second victim was also a Cambridge graduate, Saskia Jones, and she was 23. We also found out that a member of university staff was among those injured. And today we went to a village just north of here where Jack Merritt was from. And people there spoke of the pride they had at the life that he led. Those words are now echoed by the family of Saskia Jones. A funny, kind, positive influence at the centre of many people's lives. The words of Saskia Jones's family today, after it was confirmed the Cambridge graduate, 23, was killed in the London Bridge terror attack. Her family say she had a great passion for providing invaluable support to the victims of criminal injustice, which led her to the point of recently applying for the police graduate recruitment programme, wishing to specialise in victim support. Their words mirrored those of Jack Merritt's family, who also lost a young, talented graduate. He lit up our lives and the lives of his many friends and colleagues, and we will miss him terribly. Their statement added, "We know Jack would not want this terrible, isolated incident to be used as a pretext by the government for introducing even more draconian sentences on prisoners, or for detaining people in prison for longer than necessary." A Manchester law graduate, it was here in Cambridge where Jack studied criminology.
Now major questions are being asked about his release.
Why is the criminal justice system allowing people like him to be back on the streets? It's like playing Russian roulette with the public's lives, because you cannot keep control of these people when they're released. Putting a tag around someone's leg is not going to stop them from killing people. So I think the bigger scheme of things here, we need to re-look at the way terrorist prisoners are dealt with and how they are put through the criminal justice system. At the moment, they're being treated like normal prisoners. They are not normal prisoners.
But there are also reports that Usman Khan had asked for help to be de-radicalised whilst in prison, but this kind of rehabilitation was not available. The Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, and UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson have visited the scene of Friday's attack. Both have praised the bravery of the public who apprehended the perpetrator and the reaction of police and the emergency services. While the Prime Minister said more needed to be done in relation to terrorism offences.
We want to toughen up sentences for serious and violent offences, and I've said for a long time now that I think the practice of automatic early release, where you cut a sentence in half and let really serious violent offenders out early, simply isn't working, and I think you've had some very good evidence of how that isn't working, I'm afraid, with this case.
The Metropolitan Police Assistant Commissioner has said at present they're not seeking anyone else in relation to this incident, which suggests it bears the hallmark of a lone wolf attack. It also resembles the 2017 London Bridge attack, in which 8 people were killed. As the investigation into the attack continues, police presence in and around the capital has been stepped up. But beyond that, the spotlight is now being shone on the UK justice system and how it deals with those convicted of terrorism offences and the decisions surrounding their release and rehabilitation.
On London Bridge, passers-by tackle a terrorist. They pin him down, one armed with what looks like a stick. They appear to take a large knife off the attacker. This man emerges from the scrum, clutching the blade. By chance, he's a member of the British Transport Police in plain clothes. This is the moment armed policemen race towards the suspect. 2 of them vault a barrier, each holding a rifle. Without hesitation, they move into the bundle of bodies. A 3rd police officer joins, also brandishing an assault rifle. The police shout at their civilian allies to move out the way. We now know the attacker was wearing a fake suicide vest. But these officers could well have believed the device to be real. There's a heightened sense of panic amongst the crowd. The plainclothes policeman runs back, gesturing to onlookers to stay clear. One of the helpers doesn't seem to want to let the suspect go. The pair are locked in a fight. Look at the police officers. The one on the right is armed with what looks like a SIG rifle. The officer on the left is holding a taser gun. Now the attacker is isolated. He's still deemed a threat. This armed officer from the City of London Police shoots him dead at point-blank range. 2 shots are fired. The attacker died at the scene, his fake bomb on display. This all happened in less than a minute. Deborah Haynes, Sky News.
No one made up.